Some of the other new changes that have just been announced, Facebook has announced a partnership with Spotify. Spotify is, the popular music service that allows you to integrate your iTunes library with music that you can stream directly online and that sort of thing. And so what Facebook has, at the F8 conference, Mark Zuckerberg kept referring to calling this on real-time serendipity was the phrase that he kept using. And he, the point is that Facebook has added features where you can share music with your friends, listen to music together if you're both online at the same time, those sorts of things. And they've done it by tapping into Spotify, which is obviously a very popular music service. Facebook has also added this ability to subscribe to people. The way that this works, and subscribers came out just a little bit before these other main Facebook changes. Whenever you post something on Facebook, you have the option to choose whether it's going to be shown just to your friends, just to certain groups, to your friends of friends, or to everyone, to make it a public post. And so what the subscribe button does is let you share any of your publicly posted information with anyone who subscribes to you. So if I decided that most of my Facebook information was going to be private, but my notes that I write, that are like blog posts, those are going to be public on my personal profile, then somebody could subscribe to me, and they would be able to see those posts. They still won't be able to see my photos or my status updates or things like that that people are, or that I haven't chosen to make public, but they will be able to see the things that I have made public. And so already lots of people are taking advantage of this and subscribing to famous people and things like that. There is some concern with this. Again, as there is often with just about every Facebook change, some concern about the privacy issues behind this. What if somebody, the big problem is people don't have their settings set correctly, and they don't know they don't know the difference between a public post and a post that is set to just their friends. Then people might end up sharing a lot more information than they intended to with people who can subscribe to them. So there is some danger there. It's a matter, as I always say, of making sure that you know what your Facebook privacy settings are doing. The top stories. Now now I'm starting to get into the big functionality changes that Facebook has announced, and there are sort of two main things they did. They used to have, Facebook, if you will recall, had the news feed where you could select at the top either the top stories or the most recent stories. And the top stories would show you the things that, based on Facebook's algorithms, had sort of been determined to be the top stories for you, the ones that they thought you would find most interesting. And if you clicked on most recent, then you would actually see a lot of the activity of your friends as it starts to go by on your page and sort of happening in real time. What they've done with this functionality change is to alter that and make the main part of the news feed, which is what I'm showing here, that is now the top stories function. So even though this post by my friend Tammy was not the absolute most current post from anything that anybody had done, they thought that it deserved to be a top story. They thought it was one that I'd really be interested in. And you basically wade through, somewhere between half dozen or 10 or so, top stories that Facebook has determined to put in front of you first before you start seeing the sort of more recent posts. So basically what it is it's a change in the way that Facebook has chosen to display information. It's putting a lot more emphasis on people who are sharing photos, people who are sharing videos. Facebook has always sort of privileged that content more than other content. And they've also changed their photo format. You may be able to tell that from this picture here, where photos are now appearing much larger. When there's a photo album, it's actually showing you a fairly large preview of about 3 of the photos instead of the way that it used to do it. So, so just know that this is happening, and that this is how they've sort of decided to change the way that users will see your information. And then there's the Facebook ticker, and that's the new thing that is on the right side of the screen. So as you see here, as I described a minute ago, the photo album with the 3 big pictures there, that's in the top story section over here on this left-hand side. Then there's the sort of normal right-hand stuff that you're used to seeing. Although they've changed this to people to subscribe to instead of friends that you might like to people that you might like to be friends with. But then on the far right-hand side, they've got this thing over here, which is the Facebook ticker. And what the Facebook ticker does is it shows you in real time every single little thing that every single one of your friends is doing. And that includes, and it does allow you can click on them and you can pretty smoothly comment on things. So, down here at the bottom, you see that it says, my friend Amanda Wilson changed her profile picture. If I were to click on that ticker story, a little box opens up to the right here where I'm able to comment on, see her profile picture and comment on it and that sort of thing, so that you can actually dig a little deeper into any one of those ticker items. People are, the feeling about the ticker that I've heard is that people are unhappy about it because it seems to be showing a lot more information than it did before. Because now it's really showing, again, with the Spotify integration, it shows every track you listen to on Spotify. It shows every time you comment on somebody else's wall, on somebody else's photo, it actually shows what you said there. I heard a friend of mine I talked to said that she was really upset about that because she thought that was a new thing, that all of a sudden people were able to see what you were writing on other people's walls when she thought that was protected information. But actually, that is actually something that Facebook has been showing on your personal profile for a while. If your friends want to look there, that's actually not a new thing, except now it is showing up here in the ticker on the home page. So there are some challenges there again in terms of privacy. I did read an interesting Clicks.com article that says that actually the ticker really might be very useful for businesses. And the reason why that's the case is that even if you like a company on Facebook, you're not, often not going and checking out their page regularly. But with the ticker, there's more of a chance that people are going to be seeing the activities of companies that they're interested in as that company's activity starts to scroll by on the right-hand side of their screen. So Clicks.com actually sees this as an opportunity for companies to be seen more on Facebook, which I thought was an interesting perspective there. And the last new feature that I want to talk about is the timeline. Now, basically, the way that Facebook is describing and selling it's free. The way that they're describing the timeline is by calling it, a profile that sort of tells the story of your life. It's a sort of new way of doing the profile. This is what you're looking at here, Matt Brown's timeline, is sort of the example that Facebook put up on its site when you go to sign up for the timeline. It's telling, I think, that in terms of the popularity of the timeline, that earlier this week, as I was preparing for this webinar, I went into the timeline section of Facebook and clicked on the button that says sign me up, and it said, okay, you're signed up, we'll let you know when it's ready. And so far, no word, which to me says that Facebook is dealing with a lot of requests for the timeline and getting that out to consumers as quickly as they can, but not immediately. But basically, what you can see here with the timeline is that it is arranging information in a different way than the timeline has before. It's definitely more graphical than normal profiles have been. It's sort of an edgier, cooler look than the normal personal profiles have been before. An article from Mashable said that they really thought that the brand benefits of Timeline could be huge because it will let companies tell a more engaging and authentic story. Mashable's take on this was that this new view for the Timeline is really going to let companies get their message out about who they are and what they do in a more graphical way. We'll be talking more about the Timeline as that gets rolled out more and more, and as we start seeing it with company pages and that sort of thing. So I think that's all that I have on the Facebook changes for today. If you have any questions, by all means, stick those into the question bar, and I'm happy to take any of those right now. And if there aren't any questions, then I can just let you know that the next Straight Talk on Social Media webinar will be 2 weeks from today, Friday, October 14th. And as I mentioned, that's going to be on Facebook contest third-party apps. I do see a question that's just come in, and it says, can a customer like and subscribe to our company page? Which should they do? That's a good question. Subscribing is actually just for individuals. Consumers will continue to click like on your page and see your content. Subscribing is only something that you do for individual users. It's a way of sort of getting to see what individuals are saying without actually being their friend. With with company pages, you don't have that same problem because company pages, you just click like and then you automatically see their content. And another question that just came in, as a page, can we choose to publish posts only to certain likers and subscribers? I believe the answer there is no. I believe that Facebook, and this is actually something that Facebook sort of made a change as a company policy, and if you had one of the old Facebook groups, or if you've tried to create a Facebook group recently, you know that they're no longer allowing things like private groups to exist, at least not in the way they used to. And I think that the same thing with content on your company page. I believe that's it sort of has to be public. It's required to be public because of the way that Facebook has determined that it wants companies to interact with the public. And I see a comment here also. Tell us more about the great recommendation feature. We've had some great customer feedback in the last few days. And unfortunately, I don't know as much about it as I should. I think it's a way for companies to recommend, for consumers to recommend companies through Facebook. And I apologize that I don't know more about that. I would be happy to look into that and say more about that on the next webinar. Reminder, that is coming up 2 weeks from today, Friday the 14th, on Facebook contest third-party apps. Reminder of why we're doing that particular topic is that Facebook contests require that you have a third-party application run your contest, and so we're going to look at some of the best ones out there. For our telecommunications clients, Dave Newstratton's next Straight Talk on Telco Marketing webinar will be Wednesday, October 26th at 11 Pacific time, and so you can register for those through our Facebook page or through our website as well. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. Have a great weekend, and remember to keep your media social and your talk straight.